Welcome back to Midnight Whispers. Don't forget to subscribe, turn off the lights, and let's step into something you can't unhear. It started on a quiet Tuesday afternoon when I stopped at a small gas station off Route 9. The kind of place that still smelled like burnt coffee and old tires, where the fluorescent lights flickered as if they were tired of staying awake. And I was just there to grab a soda before heading home. But something near the door caught my eye, something that made my heart stop mid-beat. It was a missing poster, a little wrinkled from the wind, taped against the glass. And at first, I only noticed the words, "Have you seen her?" in bold black letters. But then my gaze dropped to the photograph, and that's when I felt the world around me tilt, because staring back at me was my own face. The same brown hair, the same tired eyes, even the little freckle under my left cheek, like someone had taken a picture of me without me knowing, printed it, and put it there for everyone to see. And for a moment, I thought maybe it was some kind of prank. But then I read the name under the photo, and it was mine, my full name, the same date of birth, the same hometown, even the same scar on the chin I got from falling off my bike when I was 9. And suddenly, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. All I could do was stand there, gripping the cold door handle as my reflection in the glass stared back at me beside that printed version of myself, like a cruel mirror from another world. And I whispered, "What the hell is this?" But no one seemed to notice me. Not the cashier inside scrolling through his phone, not the old man buying cigarettes. It was like the moment belonged only to me and that poster, that horrifying announcement that said I'd been missing for 3 weeks. I ripped the paper off the glass, my hands trembling as I stared at the details beneath the picture. It said I was last seen leaving a diner in town, that I was wearing a gray hoodie and blue jeans, and that my family was desperate for answers. And below that was a phone number, my mother's number. And that's when my stomach dropped, because my mom had died 2 years ago. I went to her funeral. I stood by her grave. I watched them lower the casket. I saw her photo on the obituary. So why the hell would her number be listed there? Still active, still used for someone who was supposedly missing. And how could that person be me? Unless I'd lost time. Unless I wasn't who I thought I was anymore. So I rushed back to my car, locked the doors, and stared at the poster in my lap, every letter, every detail so real, so deliberate. And I told myself it had to be a mistake. Maybe there was someone who just looked like me. Maybe it was an insane coincidence. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. Because the picture wasn't just similar, it was exact, like it had been taken from my phone. And that made me reach into my bag to check my photos. But when I opened my gallery, I froze. Because the last picture saved on my phone was dated 2 months ago. Even though I took pictures just last week, or at least I thought I did, and all the recent ones of my apartment, my dog, my friends were gone, like they never existed, like my whole life had been erased bit by bit while I was still living it. I drove home in silence, gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. And even though I'd taken that road 100 times before, everything felt slightly off. The houses looked familiar, but not quite right. The street signs seemed different. And when I finally pulled into my driveway, for a split second I hesitated, because it didn't look exactly like I remembered. The color of the door was darker, and the number plate looked new. But maybe I was just imagining it. Maybe the panic was twisting my reality. So I went inside, and the air smelled faintly of lemon cleaner, like someone had just been there. But the thing is, I live alone, and that made my heart hammer in my chest. I walked through the kitchen, then the living room, everything in its place, but also not. The frames on the wall had different photos, ones I didn't remember taking, of me standing beside strangers, smiling, wearing clothes I didn't own. And every picture looked too perfect, too posed, like I was living someone else's life, someone who used my face, my name. And when I got to the bedroom, my breath caught because there, on the dresser, was another copy of that same missing poster, folded neatly under a small glass of water, as if someone had placed it there for me to find, like a cruel reminder that my identity wasn't mine anymore. And the worst part was that I didn't even remember falling asleep the night before, or waking up that morning. It was as if my memory had been replaced with fragments that didn't fit together anymore. I tried calling the number on the poster, but it went straight to voicemail. And the moment I heard the message, I nearly dropped the phone, because it was my mother's voice, calm and familiar, saying, "If you've seen my daughter, please call back." her tone breaking at the end, and I sat there shaking because that voice belonged to someone who'd been gone for 2 years, and hearing it made my skin crawl. I wanted to scream, to run, but I didn't know where to go. So I called my best friend Hannah to tell her what happened, but she didn't pick up. I called again. Nothing. And when I finally texted her a photo of the poster, she replied instantly, "Who is this?" And I said, "It's me, Mia. What's wrong with you?" But she didn't answer. Then another text came through from her number saying, "Stop playing games. Mia, been missing for weeks." And I stared at the screen until my vision blurred, because either I was losing my mind or the world was playing a cruel trick on me. And the only thing that made sense was nothing at all. And when I looked up, the TV in the living room turned on by itself. Static first, then a local news channel showing a segment about a missing woman. And there it was again, my face, filling the screen with the caption, "Still no leads." And I swear, I could feel something shift inside me, like a part of me was slipping away, like I was fading from my own life piece by piece. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak in the house felt alive. Every shadow, no, every movement in the dark corner made me flinch. I sat on the floor, hugging my knees, the missing poster beside me like a mirror of madness. And I started thinking back, trying to remember the last normal day I had. But the harder I tried, the less I could recall. And then fragments began to surface, me walking down a dirt road at night, a flash of headlights, the sound of screeching brakes, cold water, screaming, and then nothing, a blank space, an endless dark. And I realized that maybe I had been missing. Maybe I never came back. Maybe I just thought I did. And this version of me wasn't real at all. Maybe I was just something left behind, a memory that forgot it was dead, a person who refused to stop existing. And when I looked at my reflection in the mirror, I saw something that made my heart stop. My reflection didn't move with me right away. It lagged just a little, like it was deciding whether to follow or not. And that's when I knew I wasn't supposed to be here anymore. Whatever I was now, it wasn't me, not completely, not alive. It's been 3 days since then. At least I think it has. I stopped keeping track because time feels strange now. Looping, stretching, folding in on itself. I've seen more posters popping up around town, even on the corner near my old high school, and every single one is a little newer than the last, like someone keeps putting them up for me, like they're waiting for me to notice. And sometimes I swear I see people staring at me like they recognize me, like they've seen my face before. And maybe they have. Maybe they saw it on the news. Maybe they're wondering how I'm walking around when I'm supposed to be gone. And I've thought about calling the police. But what would I even say? That I found my own missing poster? That I might not exist the way I think I do? That maybe I'm already gone? And this is just the echo of a person still trying to find her way home. And last night, when I went to take down the latest poster near the grocery store, I noticed something new written in pen on the bottom corner, small, almost hidden. But when I leaned in, my heart froze because it said, "Stop taking them down. You're not supposed to be here." And as I read those words, I felt something move behind me, a presence cold and familiar. And when I turned around, I saw her, me, standing there under the streetlight, same face, same clothes, smiling like she'd been waiting for me all along. And now I understand. Maybe I was never the one who came back. Maybe I was the one who never left.